Hi everyone. I'm here to share how the Indian Ecoacoustics Network, a grassroots collective of over 450 researchers, conservationists, and enthusiasts, is building the first open access multi-taxa annotated acoustic dataset for Indian biodiversity. This ongoing community-led effort brings together sounds from across India to create a rich resource with a vision of transforming conservation in one of the most biodiverse landscapes in the world. So today, passive acoustic monitoring, coupled with recent developments in artificial intelligence, is revolutionizing biodiversity monitoring globally. But in case of India, we face three critical challenges. First, despite the incredible biodiversity we have, we lack acoustic documentation. So recordings are either deficit or they're scattered in personal collection. Second, there is no centralized multi-taxa annotated acoustic dataset, forcing researchers to constantly start from scratch, then building on each other's work. Third, AI models like BirdNet or Perch tend to perform poorly here. They often trained on temperate species and not Indian wildlife. And this creates a vicious cycle, right? No good training data means no good models, which in turn means acoustic monitoring remains underutilized the tool in one of the world's most biodiverse hotspots. So as you see in this diagram, the Indian Ecoacoustics Network is bringing together citizen scientists, academics, and nature enthusiasts alike to tackle this challenge by first starting with a survey. We started with a comprehensive questionnaire-based survey, which was floated on mailing lists and other platforms, and helped us understand what acoustic data existed in the country, who had the recordings, from which regions, and in what condition. So having taken stock of the data inventory, we then established data sharing agreements and are now in the process of collecting recordings for curation. Our data processing pipeline standardizes formats, validates metadata, and ensures accurate species identification. The crowdsourced annotated dataset will be live on Zenodo and remain searchable, citable, and open access. This also enables one of our key goals, which is to develop India-specific AI models that actually work for local species. Our survey showed incredible potential. About 100 respondents could contribute about 10,000 plus hours of data spanning across 34 states and union territories. Taxonomic coverage wise, birds tend to dominate about 65% of the recordings, while amphibians remain underrepresented. And this isn't particularly surprising given India's rich avifauna and the strong birding community. While the recordings serve purposes like species monitoring, behavioral studies, and habitat assessments, these are scattered across sites without coordination or sharing. What was concerning is that only 25% of this huge dataset seems to be annotated, and 81% of it sits on personal devices like hard disk, risking massive data loss. And this very fragmentation shows why we need a centralized platform, transforming isolated efforts into collective impact. So for those of you interested, here is our workflow. Contributors, whether individuals or institutions, upload their data, we validate it, sort it into strongly or weakly labeled data, do approximate annotations for the weakly labeled data, and conduct expert validation before curating them into dataset that will be hosted on the Zenodo. But what does this all lead to? What does it enable? So take, for example, Jordan's cursor, one of India's lost birds, now surviving in 2 or 3 locations, often undetected in visual surveys. Acoustic monitoring transforms this. It really supplements other traditional monitoring methods where this non-invasive approach eliminates disturbance in breeding areas while serving vast habitats simultaneously and continuously, impossible otherwise with limited field teams and logistics. Over time, acoustics can also help us discover new populations, detect changes in communities, or create early warning systems for threats. And this applies to many threatened vocal species, from the forest owlet to Nilgiri laughing thrush, and other avifauna. And this is why this data set is crucial. It uniquely enables long-term monitoring, and this can really shape the way in which we protect India's elusive birds. And this goes way beyond individual species to monitoring nocturnal birds like owls and nightjars without disturbing them with spotlights, detecting hornbills calling from high in the canopy where you can't see them perhaps, and also tracking when exactly our summer migrants arrive and when do the winter visitors leave. And more than that, also tracking effects of climate change on birds. Are they breeding earlier, calling at different times? Are they moving up in the mountains as it gets warmer? Acoustics can offer insights into many of these, and this does not remain any longer, just for scientists, but can also be utilized by local communities. Anyone interested, whether a local community member or student, can put up these recorders and contribute to real-time, long-term, data sets. And this is where the real transformation lies. I want to thank the incredible team, all IEM members and contributors who made this possible. And if you have any recordings from any part of the country, even for one species, please contribute. This really adds towards the acoustic infrastructure that we are trying to build for the future of conservation in India. And we invite you to be a part of this journey. Thank you for your time.